Hey Legal Eagles, law school is really expensive, so students are always asking me if they should work during law school to help defray the cost. Well, today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of working during law school and whether it's right for you. By the end of this video, you'll know whether you should take a job while being a full-time law student, so stick around. Law school is an investment. It has a high upfront cost. Tuition is often over $50,000 per year, plus living expenses which add in another $20,000 to $30,000. It's not uncommon for students to graduate with over $200,000 in law school debt alone. So I understand the inclination to work during law school to help defray some of those costs. The question is, should you work during law school? Is it worth it? In my opinion, if you are a full-time law student, no, you should not work during law school. Absolutely not. Don't even think about it. And there are several reasons for this. First, law school is like having two full-time jobs already. You go to class from 10 to 3, and then study from 3 to 9, and you work weekends as well. Law school alone, just doing the studying and preparing for class and going to class, is basically like two full-time jobs back to back. It doesn't seem like there is additional time to factor in another full-time job. On top of that, law school entails a different kind of studying than most people are used to, and it will take you longer to prepare for class than you're accustomed to. You will read so much more than you did in college, and unlike college, you can't fake reading the assigned reading like you did before your classes in undergrad. Almost all first-year law students face a very steep learning curve. You're going to have a vocabulary of words that you've never heard before, or regular words that have a different meaning in the legal context. It's a whole new set of rules. It's like learning piano, guitar, and chess all at the same time concurrently in different classes. And that's why the ABA actually puts a limit on how much you can work in law school. The ABA says that you can work no more than 20 hours per week for full-time law students. So they're cognizant of the fact that you should be focusing on law school and not other monetary opportunities. Another factor is stress. Law school is already considered the most stressful time in students' lives. Now, I've seen Marines have mental breakdowns under the stress of law school. So adding another job on top of that is just a recipe for disaster. But most importantly, the thing about law school is that grades matter. The most important thing that you can do to get the job that you want in the legal field is to get good grades. Grades are 90% of what it takes to get the job that you want, whether it's a big firm job or a clerkship or going into public interest. Everyone's going to look at your grades, and better grades will open up more opportunities. And if you take on a job, you will be competing against students who are not working and who are focusing on law school 100%. And that's an unfair competition. One of the main points of law school is to become a lawyer, yes, but it's also to increase your earning power by getting into the state-run monopoly, that is the attorney's bar. So part of the point of becoming a lawyer is to earn more as an attorney. So let's say that you were somehow able to make $50,000 per year while in law school. I don't think that's very realistic while actually being in law school, but let's say you were able to make $50,000, but at the cost of slipping a few points in your GPA. Well, the difference between graduating in the top 10% of your class and the middle 50% or so could result in a difference in salary when you graduate of $50,000 less in year one. And that difference or deficit is only going to compound year after year after year. The place where you start when you graduate, it largely determines where you end up 5, 10, and 20 years later. So while it might have made sense to earn $50,000 while in law school, that could end up costing you millions of dollars over the course of your career. And keep in mind that your 1L year is by far the most important year in law school. Your 1L grades will define where you're able to get a 1L summer job. And those two things will define where you're able to get a 2L summer associate job. And that's largely where people get their employment prospects when they graduate from law school. So if ever there was a year not to have another job, it would be your 1L year. When you get into your 2L and 3L year, you'll probably get your feet underneath you, and you can decide whether you want to take on the additional risk of another job or perhaps some extracurricular activities. But your first year grades will define whether you're able to get a clerkship or a summer internship, or whether you're possibly able to transfer to a better school. So don't shortchange your 1L grades above everything else. And in fact, many schools prevent you from doing extracurriculars during your first year, let alone a full-time job. So the bottom line is that getting another job, especially during your 1L year, but probably for the rest of law school, it's just not worth it. Don't go down that road. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Understand law school for the investment that it is. You're probably going to be taking on a large amount of loans, and it would be terrible to throw away that investment just to get a few more dollars during the school year, which will really impact your ability to get good grades. So in my view, having a full-time job in law school just isn't worth it. Focus on your grades, focus on your final exams, and do the best that you can. That will have the best result in succeeding in law school and your career as an attorney. Now, if you're preparing for law school and want even more strategies and tactics that will show you how to get A's in law school, download our free Ultimate Pre-Law Checklist. It's our free gift to you. The link to that is down below. It will give you a head start on your peers by the time you get to law school. And also, please click on the like and subscribe buttons. The more people that subscribe, the more videos we'll make on how to crush law school. So, did you work during law school? Did you regret it, or did you think it was a great idea? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time at Legal Eagle, think like a lawyer and ace the exam. Hey, Legal Eagles. I'm blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. You will read so much more than you did in college. Did I say that right? So let's say that you were somehow able to make $50,000 per year in law school.